Kesha, welcome and welcome back. We are on chapter 7 of Prosperity's 10 Commandments. So let us go ahead and close our eyes and center. Take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. Just feel yourself becoming more present in this moment, in this time and space. Releasing any cares and concerns, dramas, worries, situations. Just let all that go. Begin to focus your gaze inward. Notice how nice it is to let all those other cares fall away. If you feel corded or attached to anything, go ahead and release that cord. See it releasing and returning back to source. Likewise, if you feel corded to anything, just see that cord releasing, detaching, and returning back to source. And just take a quick scan of your energy field. If you feel like you're covered in any kind of debris or detritus, just go ahead and take a deep breath in and pick all that up. And release. Another deep breath in. We should now be feeling freer and lighter, beginning to feel cleansed. And now on the next breath in, just see a column of light coming down over you. Breathe in that light, feel it quickening the body, enlivening each cell, filling in the spaces in between. And now just gently lift up in that light. Lift up out of the worldly cares, this earthly existence, into a space of peace, knowing, and oneness. And breathe that in. With your heart open, your eyes open, your mind open. Let's begin our reading. The Seventh Commandment. Thou shalt not abase thy wealth to idle or evil uses. Analogous to thou shalt not commit adultery. The Seventh Commandment has to do with purity. In teaching the necessity of purity, Moses had to meet his people on their own level of consciousness. They were a people at a stage in their development when they were more capable of understanding the rules of right action applicable to their daily life than spiritual truths that had to do with the soul development. So Moses laid upon them the necessity of cleaving to the chosen mate in love and loyalty when he delivered the law, thou shalt not commit adultery. Like all essential truth, the ideal of purity must be served in outer as well as inner action. To use the life force promiscuously for the sole purpose of gratifying the sensual nature is to debase a spiritual power by using it unworthily. And under the law of cause and effect, all unworthy use of spiritual power brings dire results. We find a voicing of this idea in Know Know ye not that ye are a temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man destroy the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, and such are ye. We know that every destructive thought defiles the temple, and does its part in destroying or tearing it down. Such thoughts oftentimes bring about the sensual use of life forces. Without the purifying element of a higher form of love, such sensual use defiles the body and is one of the greatest factors in the race consciousness tending to destroy itself. The word adultery comes from the same root as the word adulterate, which, according to Webster, means to corrupt, debase, or make impure by an admixture of a foreign or a baser substance. We have heard a great deal about the adulterating foods with harmful or less nourishing ingredients. Because of this similarity in meaning, we may then define the word adultery in its deeper sense as the act of making impure or of a weakening or rendering harmful by mixing with something of a base or foreign nature. This applies not only to physical, but to mental action. Jesus taught that defiling the mind with pure thoughts was as great an evil as debasing the body by sensual uses. He drove home the lesson that all impure action is but the outpicturing of impure thought. It is evident, then, that the Seventh Commandment is not to be interpreted as dealing only with one type of impurity. We find incorporated in it an essential truth that applies to all thought action. It is closely allied with the first three commandments, which have to do with the necessity of keeping the eye single. In it, we are exhorted to maintain purity of thought and action. We are not to debase our spiritual ideals by yielding to the temptations of our sense appetites. This idea is to be applied not only in establishing health and happiness, but also in establishing our prosperity. Our supply is of God. It is an outer symbol of His omnipresent good. If it is to be a lasting blessing with happiness in its wake, it must be handled in a way becoming to the nature of the source which it comes. With this idea in mind, it becomes clear to us that prosperity's seventh commandment can be stated in terms like the following. Thou shalt not abase thy wealth to idle and evil uses. I think we'll leave it there for now. It's a great introduction to that seventh commandment. So not just impurity in relationships, but also our relationship with money and I think we'll just leave it there. Alrighty, my good friends, we shall be back here on Friday with the next part of that chapter. All right, you all have a good one. I love you in the meantime. Bye.